Hello, everyone. It's Erin LaFave here, and I'm ready to do a live today. And I'm going to go live on Instagram too. Let's see if this works. All right, let's check it out. Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about a couple things today. So, hello, everybody. I'm on Instagram right now and on my Facebook group. So, today I'm going to talk about what I think about holiday trees. Somebody posted in my group that they were interested to know, as an herbalist, as a plant priestess, somebody who thinks, plants are sacred and that we should take care of them. What did I think about having a real life holiday tree? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to share with you a new herbal product that I like, that I drink every single day now. So something that I have just found out about and have started using for the last couple months. So hello, everyone. I see people joining. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm on my Facebook group. I'm in my Full Circle Herbals website as well. So I'm streaming in many different places right now. So hopefully the sound quality is okay for everybody. And we'll just give it a try today. Hey, Tina. Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, so holiday trees. So most people call them Christmas trees. People were talking about what do I think about having, a live one versus a artificial tree, and I'll just tell you my thoughts about them. I don't think one or the other is better, to tell you the truth. I'll tell you kind of the pros and cons to all of them. So let's start with live evergreen trees. What do I think about chopping them down and bringing them into our house? Well, it's an old tradition, that's for sure. The chopping down of evergreen trees and bringing them into the house to celebrate winter solstice, or sometimes are often called Yule. So it's something that's been happening for a long, long time. Now, in where I live, we have what they call Christmas tree farms, where people actually are growing the certain kinds of Fraser firs, balsam firs, white pines, and those types of things. They grow them specifically for the holiday season. And they're definitely doing a practice called, they're staggering they're staggering their growth patterns, right? So they're growing some will be cut, some will continue to grow. So there's always some that are growing, because they need the trees to keep growing in order for them to continue to have that economic input into their lives. So I know that some people will also go out and cut down a tree, on their land or somewhere else where you're allowed to go cut down evergreen trees. And, that's a different situation too. The evergreen tree farms that we have around here, they're actively growing them. So for, every ones that get cut down, they're actively growing other trees so that they can continue to grow. So that's a really good sustainable model, one tree down, one tree growing, and always having that succession happening. And for people who are cutting down trees for bringing in the house that aren't planting new ones, yeah, I can see that being an issue, being a problem, because you don't want to be harvesting in such a way that the other trees can't replenish themselves. So ideally, hopefully, people would be organized enough to realize that some of the trees some part of the land where they're cutting from has to lay fallow for a while. They have to leave it alone so those trees can grow, and the other trees where they're cutting, that can be a special spot too. The other thing is that in forest situations, the trees will naturally die out if they're not getting enough sunlight. So in some ways, we could also be sustainably harvesting these evergreen trees, going out to areas and finding the evergreen tree that we want that also looks like it might be struggling a little bit too, that it's not getting enough sunlight. It's kind of, stuck in a spot where there's not much room for it to grow. Those would be the ideal evergreen trees to take down as well. That's another sustainable way to do it. So certainly I don't like the idea of people just chopping down trees to bring them into their house for a short period of time and then throwing them away in a landfill or something like that. I'm hoping people are purchasing and using or are harvesting these trees down in such a way that it's a more sustainable method. So that's definitely possible. And the other thing is, as trees are great, they sequester carbon. So we have lots of carbon going into our atmosphere because of fossil fuel use. So plants are really great at capturing the carbon and holding it in them. And so we don't need to have too much carbon, and the carbon and oxygen ratio in our atmosphere is optimal for life at this point, but we are noticing too much carbon. We need to keep that balance. So the other thing too is, if you have your evergreen tree that's you've brought in that was alive, and then you take it down, it's best perhaps not to burn that tree because it just releases the carbon back into the atmosphere. It's actually a good idea to let it decay in such a way that it could go back into the soil as, organic matter. There's the method called herbal culture, which is a type of gardening where you actually take branches and big logs and you bury them and then you plant over them, and as those things decay down, then you're planting over them and using that decaying matter. So there's ways to do this. Now if we think about the artificial trees, yes, that's good because we can reuse that tree over and over and over again. So that's good for areas that may not have evergreen trees nearby. If you don't have evergreen trees nearby and then they're being shipped in, that's another carbon load. Big footprint is happening because it needs to be transported. It's using fossil fuels, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you can get if you're using a fresh evergreen tree to bring in for your holiday tree, hopefully you can get it as local as possible. And so for areas that are not able to have that kind of, fresh, available evergreen tree harvest that they can do, an artificial tree can be a great alternative. Now, let's think about all of the natural resources and carbon footprint that is happening during the production of these artificial trees as well. Lots of plastic, lots of fossil fuels being used. So that's something to keep in mind. And then when that artificial tree is no longer able to be used, maybe it's, they break down eventually. You use them so much, stuff falls off of them. The wires on them start to, break. I've seen this happen. We've used artificial trees. Right now we have a fresh tree that we cut down from a Christmas tree farm near our area. And so, we've done all of the above. So I've noticed all of these things with using Christmas trees, holiday trees, Yule trees. And, but as those artificial trees break down, then what do you do with them? Then they go in the landfill and then they sit there and they don't break down. That plastic doesn't really ever break down. It just gets smaller and smaller bits and pieces. So is there a way to recycle those trees? I'm not in our area that I am aware of, but there certainly could be places where artificial trees could be recycled. So that's a good thing too. So there's just pros and cons to each situation. And people will say, well, I feel bad that we're cutting these trees down and then they're just being used once and then thrown away. You should certainly repurpose that tree, like I said, and use it for gardening, hugelkultur. Some people know how to use it for other crafts and things like that. But we also need to remember we're harvesting things all the time. We're harvesting vegetables and fruits, and people say, well, yeah, but that plant continues to live. But if we think there are some there's lots of things that we put in our vegetable gardens that are only annuals in the area that we plant them. In other areas, they would be perennials. So humans are constantly using plants in a way that's, more beneficial for them than the plant. We're constantly harvesting things. And when it comes to trees, we typically have more of a emotional kind of connection with them because they grow. It takes much longer for them to grow. And with these holiday trees, they typically grow quite fast. And the ones that are on the Christmas tree farms, they have been bred in a way that they grow fast. They grow in a certain, way, a certain shape. They're pruned a lot. They're taken care of, and they're well taken care of so that they look good for people, and that we enjoy the shape and all that kind of thing with them. So, we do this a lot. It's farming. It's a type of farming with these type of holiday trees. If you're getting them from, these kind of holiday tree farms, if you're going out into your own forest to cut down a tree, hopefully you're doing it in a sustainable way so that the other trees around them will have optimal growth as well. So those are my thoughts on holiday trees, and pros and cons to each side. Kind of depends where you live, what kind of resources you have nearby. And on IGTV or Instagram, Megan is saying there was just a story on Minnesota Public Radio about number of people stealing treetops up in northern Minnesota this year. Yeah, that's a problem too. Some people will cut it, and I've seen this at the tree farm we were at. Some people will cut it in a way that the whole tree isn't cut down to the ground. That they'll see a really tall tree. Let's say it's 10 feet tall. The bottom looks scraggly or whatever. They'll just take that first 7 to 8 feet or whatever. Or if a tree is taller, they could take just the top. The tree can continue to grow that way. It looks weird. It looks strange. So that's not always the ideal way, but on this particular Christmas tree farm, you were able to take whatever portion of the tree you wanted, for the price that you're paying, and then they would either continue that tree to grow or take out the stump essentially that's left over. So that's unfortunate when people steal, take things in a place that they're not supposed to. And I know that there's all sorts of land issue rights, I don't know what the rules are in certain places for taking trees on state land and county land and city land and all those types of things. So there's a lot going on with this topic, just like any other topic. There's no right or wrong answer, but there certainly is a lot of pros and cons to each issue. So somebody had posted that in my Plant Priestess Exploration Facebook group, and I wanted to address it in my environmental studies master's degree way that I think about the environment. And also from my Plant Priestess perspective, that plants are sacred, and that, we're definitely harvesting them, we're using them. And we can also give thanks and offer reciprocity during that harvest period as well. So people give offerings. They will plant another tree later on when the season's right for planting trees. And there's just a number of ways to offer respect, mutual respect, reciprocity, and trying to be in balance with nature as much as possible. Okay, let me see these comments here. Where did they go? Here we are. Somebody's saying in Florida they have artificial. It's hard to keep a tree alive because they get cut so early. Correct. Yeah. I try and continue using the fake tree even though the lights stop working and string new lights. It's never an easy decision. Yeah. The local nature center takes holiday trees after to use for wildlife. That's really cool. Yeah, I've seen, people do that. They keep them in a pile and let the critters use them, that area as they chew on them, they eat them, they hide in them, they create their nests and things in there. So that's a good one. Yeah. So yeah, all sorts of things. Yeah, I could see how in some areas the trees have to be cut much earlier and then shipped, down by train or by semi or what have you down to areas that need them. And that whole journey can be, really stressful on the tree as it goes down there. And by the time it gets there, I'm sure it's it looks a little different than it did when it was cut. The tree that we have right now, I'm giving it water and it's soaking up. So I think I've given it at least a gallon in the last day and a half. And so it's still actively, absorbing water through the xylem area and through that process. So it does stay alive with the water that we're giving it. And then usually what we do is we take it outside. If there's snow, there's no snow right now, which is really weird. We stick it in the snow as standing up like a tree. And then, we notice the squirrels and the birds and things using it. And then we'll eventually cut it down. And, we have used it for firewood, for campfires in the past, or, I've buried logs before in hugelkultur gardening systems too. All right, well, let's talk about something a little less controversial. I'm going to show you a product that I love, and the brand of it, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, but it is Ticino. I believe it's Ticino. I'm going to put it in the screen here in the camera, let it adjust. So this is a new product that I have discovered. This bag was $10 in our local store, our local supermarket. You can go to their website and see so many other products they have. But this is, it's called French Roast. It's not coffee. It is what they call a coffee substitute. So it says coffee-free, acid-free, caffeine-free, and it's a prebiotic. The reason why it's a prebiotic is because it has chicory and some of their products have dandelion in them as well. So this one also has barley in it, carob, which is from the same plant as we make chocolate from, and then ramon seeds. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, RAMON seeds. So, and then they do put in organic coffee flavoring in it too. So I don't typically drink a lot of caffeinated beverages. I don't need that much. If I drink too much, I get nervous by the end of the day and jittery and crabby, and it's not a fun thing for anybody to experience. So I'm lucky if I can drink about a half a cup of coffee, caffeinated coffee a day and feel okay with it. So I will often drink decaf coffee, and having to find the one where they're not using the chemicals to take the caffeine out, that's something I'll buy too. But this one is really great for anybody who's looking to reduce their caffeine consumption. You can actually add anything like this into your coffee and cut it in half, and it'll still taste like your morning cup of coffee. This tastes like coffee quite a bit, but it has less of a bitter component to it, and it has a smoother taste. And with the carob, it has a bit of like a chocolate, just very slight chocolate in there. They have many, many different formulations of their products. They have some that are just dandelion root and carob and chicory, and the organic flavoring. This one has barley in it, which if you're gluten-free, and I typically, my diet is 90% gluten-free, but they didn't have the gluten-free kind there for me, and I really, really wanted some, so I did this. They do have barley in it, which has gluten in it. But yeah, they have different kinds on their website. They even have sampler packets where things are in like tea bag, simple sample size. They have chaga kinds in there. So there's very much, like, you could think of these as teas. They're made from seeds and roots, and they have other herbal type things. So, but they call this a coffee substitute or coffee-free, caffeine-free substitute. So it's so good. We do have a Keurig type device in our house. I don't know if it's a brand name Keurig. And then I have a reusable little filter thing that I use. And then I've just pour it in there and make myself a cup every day. And then also you can keep those grounds in there and make a second cup with just the grounds the second time around, and it tastes just as good the second time using it. So yeah, French roast. This is the first one I've used French roast. The other one I had, like I said, was more of a dandelion, carob, and chicory, and the ramon seeds, and the organic coffee flavor. But this last time I couldn't find the gluten-free kind, and I really, really wanted it. And it comes with this like resealable sticker. It even smells a bit on the coffee, or a bit on the chocolatey side, just a bit, you know, when you smell that. So it's got this little sealable thing here. Yeah. So really good. I really like it so far. Chicory herbal coffee. That's what it says right there. Chicory herbal coffee. Do you just add it to hot water? Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I make it just like you would a coffee. I suppose you could put it, you know, in your, make it like a tea and then strain it. But it's pretty fine, not powdery, but you're probably going to want to, you know, have like a coffee filter type thing to really filter everything out. And yeah, I just use the Keurig type, you know, setup because I can make 1 cup in my reusable little filter thing. And I don't want, you know, a whole pot of it for the day. I just like to have it. And I'll add in hot cocoa to it sometimes too, and makes it a really fun drink. Okay, let's see. Yeah. All right. So there we are. That's what I have for today. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, my website, the Plant Priestess Exploration Facebook group. So if you see me looking in different places, that's why I've got like 2 cameras going. Just to let you know, the Plant Priestess Exploration Workshop is coming up next Monday, December 14th through the 17th is the 4-day lessons. And then I do 5 bonus day lessons in there. And so get signed up for that. If you're not in the Plant Priestess Exploration Facebook group, if you're watching on another place right now, another platform, Plant Priestess Exploration Facebook group is where the workshop happens. However, I'm trying something new this time. So if you're looking not to be on Facebook or Instagram, I will be streaming right into my website. So I'm going to be streaming into the website. It will be on YouTube as well. So I will be giving you all those links and places that you can find me. The cool thing about Facebook is that it will remind you that, you know, that's coming, especially if you go into the events section of the Facebook group. I have the 4 days listed there. And if you click maybe, yes, then it will let you know when I go live. So even if you're not sure if you can come that day live, if you click on maybe, at least will give you that reminder. I will do watch parties at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time in the Facebook group. I don't know how to do it on the other platforms. So we'll do watch parties 7 p.m. Central Standard Time during those days. And if you haven't been on the Plant Priestess Exploration Workshop before, quickly I'll tell you that we talk about learning plant spirit medicine, developing intuition, synchronizing with nature, and we have a brand new lesson happening on day 4. I usually do the lesson of the role of a plant priestess in a modern day world, but I'm sending that video to everybody through email when they sign up. So you will get that. On Sunday, this Sunday, I will also be giving that lesson too. So I'm going to do a pre-workshop lesson on Sunday. All these details are given to you in the Plant Priestess Exploration Facebook group and through email as well. So when the workshop starts, I will send you an email reminding you that it's going to happen that day. We'll also send you a reminder about an hour or less through email that it's going to start. Then I send you recaps of the day as well, so that in the email you'll be able to find where exactly this the Facebook video is, and probably my website video area too. We'll send you the Priestess Pages workbook very shortly through email, if it may have gone out already. So you get the Priestess Pages workbook through email. And if you don't see it through email, if your email is having problems, if you can't find the email, which does happen sometimes with my email provider, send me a digital message through my through my Erin LaFave Herbalist Facebook profile. If you send me a message through that, then we can send it. We can send a PDF to you through Facebook Messenger as well. So Plant Priestess Exploration Workshop is taking place December 14th through the 17th. It's the last workshop I'm doing for free in 2020. And we're doing all sorts of new things, new activities. I'm also giving you the lessons using the 5 elements. So we'll use, on the first day, we're doing east, which is air. So we're talking about the element of air, and I'll give you a lesson about a priestess lesson that is associated with air. I'll mention an herb that I associate with the air element, tell you about an herbal application, and there's another one. Oh, the symbolism and the symbols of air. So each day, each of the 4 days is an element, and the bonus days, I'll tell you about the bonus day lessons on day 4. So day 4 is when I reveal what the bonus lessons will be. So it's going to be exciting. I have lots of new things planned for you. If you've already been through the workshop, and I know many of you come through my workshops 1, 2, 3 times, each time I add a little bit of a different topic or something new for you, so you can learn that way. Let's see here. Won't have an access to a printer. Tina, if you can send me a DM, a Facebook message, in wherever you you have me. I know you've sent me messages before, so usually my Erin LaFave Herbalist Facebook profile is a good place to go. I check that every day, and I do have a team member, a helper with me that can be looking in that profile too, so she can help as well. The other thing I wanted to mention is that if you are looking for some very specific help with herbs for your wellness, you want to add them into your spiritual practice, and you're not looking for an e-course, you're not looking for a membership of my full year program that I have, the Plant Priestess Circle, I am offering my Herbal Apprentice 3-month intensive, where we meet together virtually for 30 minutes twice a month, and I help you out one-on-one. So if you're looking for certain herbs can help you with a certain wellness goal that you have, if you're looking to be able to make your own herbal remedies and you want somebody to walk you through it step by step live, that's what my Herbal Apprenticeship 3-month intensive is for. And what I do with the apprenticeship is when we do video, I can make things with you. If you tell me what herbs and what things that you have at home and what you want to make, I have so many herbs here that I can actually pull from my supply and show you how to do it right on camera. So that's what the Herbal Apprenticeship is all about, is really giving people tailored advice and help and suggestions for what they want to do. And we do it in a much smaller time frame for 3 months. So if you're looking for something like that, that is $1,000 per month. Or if you pay it in upfront in one lump payment, then the price is $2,499, something like that. And so I just want to show you that I have different options. We're doing the free workshop. I do have my 12-month Plant Priestess Circle learning environment that we have virtually, and then my Herbal Apprenticeship 3-month intensive. So really great opportunities for all sorts of levels and places where people are at. And so I come here in the Plant Priestess Exploration Facebook group every week, live, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And whenever possible, I'll stream into Instagram and YouTube and all the places that I can. So thanks for joining, everybody. I hope to see you next Monday, and have a great week wherever you are in the world. And let me know if you enjoyed this video. Take care. Bye-bye.